Krishna. Today is the day when Srila Prabhupada accepted sannyas. So we can just remember this glorious occasion by just going through some of those pastimes. So it was at his time when most of the people were not interested in spirituality. Even his wife and family members had little or no interest in his mission. Prabhupada started spending more and more time away from home, trying to carry out his preaching work, preaching duties. With great effort, he established a center in Jhansi called the League of Devotees. But members were not very active, and later he had to close it down. One night in mid-40s, Abhay had an unusual dream. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati appeared before him, beckoning. He was asking Abhay to leave home and take sannyas. Abhay awoke in intensely emotional state. How horrible, he thought. Because he was still a householder, so why was the spiritual master requesting this? He thought he knew it was not an ordinary dream, yet the request seemed so difficult and unlikely. Take sannyas? At least it was not something he could do immediately. Now he had to improve the business. And with the profits, he would print books. He went on with his duties, but remained shaken by the dream. And then he had the dream a second time. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati appeared before him. Again, he was beckoning, indicating that Abhay should take sannyas. And again, Abhay had to put the dream aside. He was a householder with many responsibilities. To take sannyas would mean to give up everything. He had to earn money. He had now 5 children. Srila Prabhupada said, I started a big factory in Lucknow. There were golden days. My business flourished like anything. He could have been a billionaire. He was inventing his own medicines.
Toothpaste.
And toothpaste. And then gradually everything dwindled. With the help of some acquaintances in Allahabad, he opened a small factory there, in the same city where his Prayag pharmacy had failed 15 years before. He moved to Allahabad with his son Vrindavan and continued manufacturing medicines, while the rest of the family remained in Banerjee Lane in Calcutta. Abhay continued his traveling, but now he was often away for months at a time. In 1948, Abhay closed his factory in Lucknow. He had fallen behind in employee salaries. And since 1946, he had been paying past rent in installments. But when sales dropped off, continuing the factory became impossible. He lost everything. Prabhupada decided to retire from family life and move to the holy land of Vrindavan, the place where Lord Krishna displayed his childhood pastimes. He lived in a very humble and austere way in the historic medieval temple of Radha Damodar. He had no income, and thus he ate little, wore old clothes, spent years in deep study and writing. He did not care for his own comforts. He collected money only to print books. One night, Abhay had a striking dream, the same dream he had several times before during his days as a householder. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati appeared just as Abhay had known him, the tall, scholarly sannyasi coming directly from the spiritual world, from Krishna's personal entourage. He called to Abhay and indicated that he should follow. Repeatedly, he called and motioned. He was asking Abhay to take sannyas. Come here, become a sannyasi. Abhay wondered, why would his spiritual master have asked him to accept sannyas? He reasoned that his spiritual master was saying, now take sannyas, you will actually be able to accomplish this mission. Formally, the time was not right. In 1959, he took sannyas. On the morning of 17 September 1959, in the 50 by 25 foot deity room on the second floor of the Keshavji Math, a group of devotees sat before the deities of Radha Krishna and Lord Chaitanya. Abhay sat on a mat of kusha grass beside 90-year-old Sanatan, also to receive sannyas that day. Sitting opposite the two candidates, His Holiness Keshav Maharaj presided. Then, to everyone's surprise, Keshav Maharaj asked Abhay to speak. Abhay had not expected this. As he looked around at the gathering of devotees, he understood that the common language was Hindi. Only Keshav Maharaj and few others spoke English. Yet he knew he must speak in English. After Abhay's speech, Keshav Maharaj awarded sannyas, saying that Abhay would now be known as Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, and that Sanatan would be known as Muni Maharaj. After the ceremony, the two new sannyasis posed for a photo standing on either side of the sannyas guru, who sat in a chair. So this is an incredible picture. Prabhupada taking sannyas, Keshav Maharaj and Muni Maharaj. He was 90, looks pretty fit. The Gaudiya Patrika account of the sannyas initiation included a biographical sketch of Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, listing the major events of his life. The article concluded, seeing his enthusiasm and ability to write articles in English, in Hindi, English, and Bengali, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj gave him the instruction to take Tridandi sannyas. For nearly 1 year, he had been ready to accept sannyas. In the month of Bhadra, on the day of Vishwarup accepting sannyas, so that's today, Bhakti Vedanta Swami at the Sri Keshavji Gaudiya Math accepted sannyas from the founder of this Vedanta Samhiti, Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj. Seeing him accept his ashram of renunciation, seeing this pastime for accepting this order of life, we have attained great affection and enthusiasm. So this is Vishwarup. He's taking sannyas. He left his Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's older brother, and he left the family when he was young, and he took sannyas. So he left Sachimata and Jagannath Mishra. So this is today that event also took place. A year later, he started his work on a multi-volume annotated translation of the 18,000 verse Srimad Bhagavatam. He also wrote a book, Easy Journey to Other Planets. As the years passed, he formulated a plan to spread the chanting of Hare Krishna throughout the world. So this is a brief explanation of Srila Prabhupada's taking of sannyas on this glorious day today. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So if there's any comments, any questions, please do ask. Otherwise, we can shift on to the Nrsimha Kavach.